You cannot make this tournament up. Oh my god. Smash Factor X3 X3 just concluded today. And it was the greatest tournament I've seen in so long. Oh my god. Smash is so good these days. Also forgive me because I'm still in my World Cup jersey fit. But yeah, this tournament, mind-blowing. Like, you could not make this tournament up, bro. It's like my dream tournament. So if you weren't able to catch this tournament, S Factor X3, you really missed out, because this tournament was pretty much entertaining from the jump. They put a lot of the event off until the final day, and at the time I kind of minded it during the first couple days because I had to wait, but it ended up being worth it in the end. But that's not to say that the tournament didn't start off hot, because we definitely still got a lot of entertaining stuff to start out with. They had Squad Strike, and they had the crew battle.
No consigue nada todavía, 105-36.
It's always my favorite part of, you know, the event. I guess not my favorite part, but it's a part I really enjoy, just to see these different teams go against each other. And I know Europe defeated Japan for the first time. They never defeat the Japanese team. But to be fair, there weren't that many super top players from Japan at this event, so you got to give them an excuse there. We also got to see players like Meister return, and something that just made this event so cool was just the variety of different players you would see here. I was hyping this event up a lot because I really did expect to see a number of players that you don't typically see just all the time, and that was absolutely what we got to see at S Factor X3. And you know, just as the first real day of the event's bracket singles began, you could tell that this was going to be a pretty hot tournament. You know, you would have sets like Alan Dis against Leaf, and not the Japanese Robin player Leaf, but a Peach player named Leaf. And shout out to this player, but unfortunately they got destroyed, because every game they either got 3-stocked or JV3'd. They got ruined every game. And that was just a sign to me, like, okay, this guy Alan Dis is really as good as everybody says. Like, he is nuts at the game, okay? So shout out to Alan Dis. And that was not the only match to happen that day that was extremely exciting to witness. A Roy player by the name of Javi was able to defeat Osimo. In fact, shout out Osimo, you know, a great player, a legendary player, but I never saw Osimo play the whole weekend, okay? I think that the Javi set was on a different stream or something like that, and I wasn't able to find the stream, so once he got sent to losers, he just got eliminated before I even ever got to see him. Also, Shiny Mark, another player I was excited to see, he got 65th place. So I didn't get to see him play at all. I couldn't even tell you who he lost to be honest. So this tournament was just one of those kinds of tournaments. Moving into the final day was when things really began to ramp up, though, because players like Yara had been coming off of back-to-back major wins at Sumabato and Seibugeki, right? And so people were like, is this guy gonna go 3 back-to-back-to-back wins with Samus? And this would be the biggest for sure, because this is like a super duper major uncontested, right? Like, some people would contest if Seibugeki is really a super major, or would contest if Sumabato is really a major. This is a super major. So that would be nuts if he were to win it, but he was actually knocked into the losers bracket by Gluttony. And I didn't predict this. In my prediction video, I said that Gluttony would lose to him, but in hindsight, it kind of makes sense, because, you know, Gluto has the experience with Siski, the Samus player from Spain, in Europe, and they play quite often, so I guess I should have seen it coming that it was possible. And some of the things that Gluttony would be doing in that set were just insane. I mean, we kind of got a preview of what was to come, because on day 1 we saw Gluttony face off against a Robin player, not Leaf, the Japanese Robin player, but I can't recall the name of this player. But, you know, poor guy, he would go up every single game a certain amount of percent or of stocks, and then somehow a comeback would happen every game. And there was one stock where he literally just got hit by nair, up air, fart, and that was just the whole stock. Like, and it was like, geez, that's just really unfortunate. So I knew that, you know, Gluttony always has a chance because he was able to do things like that, and he was just playing on his A game. When he fought against Yara, there's a part where Yara did a forward air on him. I believe it was on Hollow Bastion, and he's standing on the platform, and he parries every single hit of the forward air. I was like, what? That's not good. So he defeats Yara, sends Yara to the loser bracket. People did not expect that because you got to think Yara, he's been looking unstoppable lately, right? And not only that, Gluttony would go on to play against Leo. MK Leo would go up 2-0. I was like, this MK Leo is playing hot. He knows what he has to do to win this tournament. He is the generational champion of Smash Factor. He's won more Smash Factors than anybody else. He can do it. And he goes up 2-0, and then he gets reverse 3-0'd. Now, right? So that just goes to show how well Gluttony was playing, right? Now, that's not all though. So we would see people like Light doing really well at the event. You know, he beat the Steve player Manny, and I was a little concerned during that set because you would just see moments where Light's just getting hit by the jab across the stage, and it's like, nah. But what can you do? You know, that just happens to you sometimes. But he was able to clutch it out. I remember he hit the splits on him at one point. I think it was like a 3-1 score. I saw that Tweak, you know, he made quick work of that dude Javi. It was so quick, like I went to the bathroom, came back, and it was over. So I was like, geez, like he really just smacked him up. But I knew that Tweak was going to have to fight Spargo, and I knew he was going to lose to Spargo, and I said that in my prediction video, which you can check out. It's on, you know, if you become a channel member, it's only $1.99, and you can check out, you know, my prediction video, and I'm gonna have a lot more content in that form coming up. So, you know, shout out to all the channel members, of course. But yeah, so I knew that Tweak was probably going to lose to Spargo because Spargo's just been playing too hot, right? What I did not know, however, was that Yara in the loser side of bracket would just get eliminated. Like, I just did not expect that at all. You know, we would see people like Zomba kind of do about as well as you'd expect them to. You know, I saw Zomba was able to defeat Shuton, so I was like, okay, Zomba's got a good shot at this event. And what came as a surprise to me was seeing Siski beat Light, because Siski like pretty much never beats Light. Actually, I don't even know if he ever has. Maybe he has a couple times, but it's been a long time maybe since. Either way, I know Light always says that Samus is a really good matchup for Fox, and he says he would never lose to a Samus player. He was just saying that about Yara. He said, I would never lose to a Samus player. He wasn't watching out for the right one.
I'm gonna put him on screen right now just so the audience can see.
I'm not going to say that I can't lose to Yara because I played every high-level, top-level Samus, right? And I've beaten all of them game 5 with no Samus experience and no studying. So I had like a skewed opinion of Samus, obviously. Okay,
because Siski made clean work of him. And I think Siski got a buff a little bit from watching Spain win the World Cup. He's like, if they can do it, I can do it, because he's also from Spain. And he was just going insane at this tournament. So, because Gluttony defeated Yara and then defeated MK Leo, him and Siski would have to fight against one another. And Siski 3-0'd him. It was like, when I was watching it, I was like, what is happening? Like, not to say it's impossible for Siski to beat Gluttony. He's done it a number of times, but just 3-0 and that easily. The way he finished it, he did like 5 up airs and then upbeat him off the top. I was like, oh my goodness. So I knew Siski was playing on a different level. I mean, even just to have Siski on the winner's side of top 8 was like, I was like, what is going on today? Overall, I feel like kind of a lesser than expected performance from a lot of the Japanese players. They're lucky that they had Shuton playing at the level that he was, because he really picked up for a lot of them. But people like T or Osimo or Yara. I got to watch some Yara matches, but T and Osimo, I never got to see play a single game. So that's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to both of them. I love watching them both. So that kind of made me sad. But, you know, I bet that they'll bounce back big time. Also, huge shout out to Big Boss for defeating T. Because when I first read that in the bracket, I was like, what? Like, geez, I did not see that coming even a little bit. And I think he 3-0'd him with Pac-Man. In losers, we go on to see Tweak defeat Ouch, but I mean, Shuton just looked like too much for him, you know. He just kind of cleaned him up. And then, if you thought that was bad, MK Leo versus Light, these are two players I'm rooting for both, so I'm just trying to see a good show. But Jesus, like, MK Leo just smacked him up. Like, I was like, oh my god. And to be honest, when I saw that they were gonna have to fight, I was like, this could go either way. Like, I almost favored Light a little bit because I feel like Light's kind of beating him at like Watch the Throne or something like that. I feel like he messed up Leo, so. But no, not today. I mean, Leo's Joker was just looking like a whole different animal.
It is what it is. She's a whole different animal.
What do I always say? What did I say at Kagaribi? And I say every tournament, Shuton does not lose to European people, okay? Ever. He will never lose a game, okay? So at Kagaribi, he was able to defeat Gluttony. He keeps it up here at S Factor, and I guarantee you, if Siski had to fight him, he wouldn't beat him. I'll tell you that, because not only is he European, but on top of that, he plays Samus against Olimar. Tell me a worse matchup. I'll wait. It doesn't exist. Now, Zomba. When I saw Zomba versus Spargo on winners semis, I want to say, I was like, okay, this could determine the winner of this event, right? And the thing is, I did predict that Spargo would win in my prediction video because Spargo's just been playing so hot. He won last time. You know, that's just common logic, I feel like. Spargo is going to defeat Zomba because he has the past couple times. But here's what you gotta realize. First, at MomoCon, they fought 3 sets, okay? The first set, Zomba, I think 3-0'd Spargo. So, boom. Zomba up. Then, I feel like he went up the second set, but maybe I'm wrong. No matter what, he lost 2 sets to him in losers, right? Or in grand finals. That's not what you want to happen to you, bro. So he kind of choked it there a little bit. And then, same thing here. He went up 2-0 and then got reverse 3-0, bro. And it's just a thing about closing it out. It's just so tough. You know, it's just so tough. And then at a certain point, you also get the mental block where you're like, you don't even think you can beat the person. So it's like, man, now you're really screwed. And it's so funny because he lost the set the same way he lost at MomoCon. He just kept getting up aired. And then just one of them killed. But like 3 of them got the kill screen and then just one of them killed. It was literally the same at both tournaments. That's so crazy. Then when he went to the losers bracket and he had to fight Leo, Leo was on a different timing, bro. He was not playing around. I promise you he wasn't. He infinited Zomba for like 10 minutes straight. It was like a movie to watch. So after Spargo was able to defeat Zomba, he went up to winners finals to fight the person who beat Gluttony, Siski. And he lost. And it didn't even go game 5. Siski was playing like a demon. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. The way he would drop bombs, doop, 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 doop. He would drop so many bombs, bro. And he was just, he was just playing on a different level. He'd be hitting the grab, insta up throw. Oh my god, Siski. Shout out to bro. He would know exactly when Spargo was gonna jump. Just spam Nair. Spargo would jump out his shield to get away from it. Bam, you're dead. Oh my goodness, bro. It was like he was possessed or something like that. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it, but Spargo, you know, he couldn't do it with the Pyro Mythra. He switched to Cloud. He got a game or something like that. Or no, he got the first game with Pyro Mythra, so he got no games with Cloud. He just got smacked up with Cloud. 4 games. Shout out Siski. And he'd be popping off after every game. He'd be popping off after every stock, bro. At this point, Spargo going to losers, I'm thinking, okay, Goat can low-key do this. Leo can low-key do this. If he can just, in my head, I'm like, if he can just beat Shuton, he wins. That's how I'm thinking, okay? Now, Shuton, I start watching the start of the first game, and Leo just dies instantly. And I'm like, oh. So I low-key, I go to the bathroom. I come back, I see a 1 at the top of the screen, so I'm like, okay, Leo lost 1. Unfortunate, right? I start watching the second game. He dies in less time in this game. He dies in 8 seconds. And then he dies in like 10 more seconds. He lost 2 stocks in like actually 40 seconds. I was like, oh. But then the commentator said he goes down just like he did the first game and he somehow pulled it out. And I'm thinking, what? I'm looking up at the score. He won the first game. It's 1-0 his favor. So I'm thinking, okay, even though he's gonna lose this game right now, it's fine because it's just gonna be 1-1. That's fine. I'll take that. He doesn't lose that game. The thing I just watched after that, after what I just described, is the crazy Smash Bros. I've ever seen in my entire life. I had to make a post that was like, MK Leo is the greatest player ever. He like gets him off stage, gets it with an edge guard, gets him down to 2 stocks, right? Then he immediately throws him off, down air, spikes him. Shuton's able to recover to the other side of the stage. Then he gets a down air, up smashes him. Then Shuton still survives. He double jump, up air, you're dead. In like 4 hits, actually. What the heck, right? He just did down air, up smash, up air. That was the whole stock. So then I'm like, and then he somehow takes the game. He back airs him, actually, like not even at a high percent, and Shuton died. I was like, this guy has plot armor. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, he's winning. Like, there's just nothing that can stop this guy, right? Like, his momentum was piping hot. Bum, bum, bum. The Shuton somehow takes the next 2 games. It goes to game 5. I'm like, bro. Because especially, you got to think, I'm literally like that meme of the guy going, bro! You know? Because you got to think that Gluttony took the next 2 games after Leo took the first 2, and then he reversed 3-0'd him. So I'm like, you can't get reversed 3-0'd twice, please. And then the 5th game, Leo cleans it up, ba-bam. And now he's set to fight Spargo in losers finals. And at this point, I'm like, he can win this tournament. But then something scary happens to me. So in my prediction video, I said that the grand finals was going to be Leo against Spargo. And I said Leo would beat him in winners finals, I think. So I said their first set, Leo would win. And the reason I said that is because I said in the video that out of their past 5, Leo's won 4.
Now, Leo versus Spargo, I think Leo wins. If we're just going based off of their recent sets against each other, I know I've been hyping up Spargo so much throughout this tournament, but I really think that Leo probably takes it. This is not, like, completely unsubstantiated. Like, I'm not just a Leo glazer, although I kind of am. But also, MK Leo has beaten Spargo in their past 5 sets. How many times?
4.
He's beaten him 4 out of their past 5. So am I crazy for saying that there's a chance he wins it? No. In fact, he's gonna do it.
And I was correct, because Leo did win that set against Spargo. But I didn't expect how it went, because all of their sets in their past 5 have been Joker versus Pyro and Mithra. However, this one, it went Pyro and Mithra versus Pyro and Mithra at the start. And that's how it went at Kagaribi, and I didn't like it at Kagaribi. Because at Kagaribi, Leo got 3-0'd, and he got wrecked by Spargo on the first game of this one, too. He just isn't, he's not favored if it's his Pyro and Mithra versus Spargo's Pyro and Mithra. Spargo's just better at the Ditto than him. Like, that's just true, okay? He hasn't taken a game off of him that I've seen, okay? The 4 games I've seen it, he's lost. So then he went on to the Joker, okay? El Clasico. Wrecks his Pyro and Mithra. Then Spargo makes an interesting choice to me. He goes Cloud. And I really didn't expect that. But good job to Spargo, because he won the game. But in my head, I was like, low-key, this is still good for us because Leo's going to have the counter pick advantage. Like, if Leo just goes Pyra and Mithra, Spargo hates fighting Pyra and Mithra as Cloud. So that's pretty much a free win. And then game 5, you know, maybe we get counter picked and lose. But I was like, at least we're guaranteed game 5, though. But Leo was like, nah, I'm not switching. I'm sticking to the Joker. And he stuck to his guns, and he was right for that. Because, geez, his level of play with Joker is so high. Like, I've never seen some of this stuff I was seeing, bro. He was just going for so much. With Spargo, he just kept going for these gun plays off the ledge. And it was just mind-blowing to watch some of the plays he would be getting. And, yeah, he ended up closing out the set against Spargo. And I was like, okay, like, he's won. Because he's got like a 7-0 record against Siski. Siski's never beat him. So I was like, he can do that. You know what I mean? So he goes to grand finals. He 3-0s him the first set. Second set, he wins the next 2 games. So I'm like, okay, we've seen this movie before. This is over. You know, the whole crowd's on his side. Then Siski takes a game. And I'm like, yo, imagine? Yo, imagine? But no, then Leo takes the next game. If it won game 5, anything can happen. But no. So, Leo is the GOAT. And I said he'd be top 2. You know, I was kind of unsure of who would win at that point. But I was correct about that. And what a joyous day. Shout out to Siski as well for just the most unprecedented run. People wouldn't expect him to be the top Lexington Samus, and he was the top by a lot. And in fact, he almost won the biggest major a Samus player has ever won. This is definitely the greatest placement that he's ever gotten at a tournament. So shout out to him as well. Shout out to Leo for taking back the S Factor throne. You know, he rightfully deserved it all this time. I think a Mexican player has won every single S Factor. So how amazing is that? And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this tournament. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the World Cup. You know, it's kind of sad that it's over. And as always, huge shout out to my channel members, Wally Winker, PolyB25, My Fears Have Become Phobias, Joseph YouTube, Risen SSBU, and Julie. As your continued support means the universe to me, and it's only $1.99 if you would like to become a channel member, and you get cool perks like the little, you know, sticker next to your name. You get now new member videos, which should be cool. And I'm thinking about implementing all kinds of, you know, new cool upgrades, like playing with members certain days a week and stuff like that. So tell me what you guys would be interested in the comments below. But with that being said, that's a recap, and what an amazing tournament. I don't want to be the one to say it, but low-key there wasn't a lot of Steve in this tournament, and it was kind of lit. That's all. Okay, thank you guys so much.
Face, bro. He is being dejected in real time. First by Spargo, now by Leo. By the time this tournament's over, his ass might be voting Republican. Listen, I'm just saying, boy, they over here torturing that guy.